Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Nine Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across this video coming from an Asian. Like, I really don't know what these people think we are, but then it is what it is because this is not the first or second or third time, and we are going to keep saying it. But one thing I keep telling ourselves is that we really can do better by making sure that we are where we are valued and all that. So this Asian man actually came out to drop this comment saying that would you waste your time online talking about the majority of crimes against Asians in the US are black people? No, because then you will get your social media praise fake as F. And then I love it when people do research and not just only do research, come correct because you cannot be accusing somebody without coming correct. Let us see the analysis. Let us see the where it is written that the most crime that is being committed are being done by people that look like me. And I am really sick and tired of Asians. I mean, I don't know, but they are really using them as pawns by pop colored people. But the reality is that most Asians do not believe that they are actually people of color, right? They actually believe that they are because when you bought into white supremacists, I mean, you are doomed, and some of them are already doomed. And one of them also came out to call a beautiful sister Mon and King. And I am asking, what the hell is wrong with you people? You know what? Let's get into this video.
So the ironic thing about this comment is, given how people who look like me are most fetishized among right-wing men, plus their tendency to throw money away on literal frauds, if I was into being fake for social media praise, I could probably launch myself into fame and fortune on pretty short order by being a xenophobic, anti-black, American flag-waving, bikini-wearing Susie Wong for people like you. And in fact, the reason why a lot of people like you can't stand my content is you feel entitled to me being exactly what I just described for you. The only thing that's fake as fuck in your comment is your claim that a majority of crimes against Asians in the United States are committed by black people. Now, one of the reasons why I don't talk about anti-Asian violence in the United States as much as I used to is because recently it's been decreasing, which is wonderful, but it will always be worth my while to talk about not allowing people like you to spread misinformation and to use Asian Americans as pawns to cause harm to black people. So let's take a look at your erroneous claim. With respect to the most recent increase in anti-Asian violence that we saw beginning in 2020, the strongest predictor of racially negative attitude associated with COVID was evangelical nationalism, which is prevalent among white people, not black people. But also, let's examine your claim from a historical perspective to see whether it makes any sense. It wasn't black people who passed the Page Act in 1875 targeting the immigration of Chinese women. And they also didn't indenture and mistreat Chinese railroad workers and kill over 10% of them. They were not the ones who passed the Chinese Exclusion Act. They were not the ones who destroyed San Jose Chinatown. And the deadliest mass lynching of Asians in LA was not committed by black people. They were not the ones who put Japanese Americans in internment camps, and in fact, they were the only people who tried to protect the rights and properties of interned Japanese Americans. And post-Japanese American internment, black politicians were among the strongest advocates for Japanese American reparations, which is why many Asian Americans are supporters of black American reparations. It was not black people who killed Vincent Chin scapegoating Asian people for jobs moving overseas. And even with the oft-told narrative of the devastation of Koreatown during the LA riots, it was not black people who kettled themselves away from white neighborhoods and into Koreatown, because it is not black people who use Asian Americans as a buffer between themselves and white people. It is white people who do that. Now, I can already hear the people who think that being subjected to a rundown of their own history equals hate, rolling their eyes and saying she's talking about the past again. But the reason why it is important to establish a historical through line is so that we're able to examine, does a claim like this make any sense? If black Americans have never been the enemy of Asian Americans and have frequently been our supporters, whereas white people have consistently caused significant amounts of harm to Asian Americans, why would anybody believe that without explanation this suddenly changed? The only people who would believe that are people who benefit from that false narrative or people who have been convinced because they are ignorant of United States history. maybe because they haven't been in the country for very long, and maybe because they're English language learners, like a lot of Asian Americans themselves. Now, I have a suspicion that you may be one of those do your own research, facts don't care about your feeling people. And the facts and the data, according to the FBI, just don't back you up. A majority of crimes committed against Asian people in the United States on the basis of race are committed by white people. Now, in case you want to waste more time by moving the goalpost from majority to disproportionate, I will be ready for you. You're the one who said majority, which is based on the total number of incidents. Per capita is in relation to a particular group of people. So as I predicted, you are moving the goalpost, and as I promised, I am ready for you. But let's take care of a few other things first. I have no reason to believe that any of this is true because your profile is blank. Now, it could all be true, and the reason why your profile is blank is because holding that many marginalized identities, you feel unsafe, and that would be understandable. Or it could be because you are a lying coward. Either way, it does not change what I said about people like you, because I didn't say people who look like you. I mean people who uphold white supremacy. And it doesn't matter if you are black and gay and married to an Asian man, the misinformation that you push upholds white supremacy. Here you are correct. Denying reality is just a form of racism, and you are denying the reality that a majority of anti-Asian hate crimes in the United States have been and currently are committed by white people, which shouldn't surprise anybody because white people are the ones who commit a majority of bias-related hate crimes against all people of the global majority. That I don't hold black people accountable for your false claim has nothing to do with what I think black people can and cannot handle. It has entirely to do with the fact that your claim is false. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at that goalpost that you moved, because I did say I was ready and it is important. If you're talking about per capita, then yes, black people do commit a disproportionate amount of crime against Asian Americans, but simply pointing that out without examining why is not addressing anything unless your only purpose is to criminalize the existence of black people. In order to find a solution, we have to examine why. So a lot of this is happening in large cities with high population density where working class Asian American neighborhoods intersect working class Black American neighborhoods or intersect significant unhoused populations, and we know that is an issue that disproportionately affects black people. And this is by design because Asian Americans are used as a buffer between black people and white people. And yes, racial bias is involved, but a lot of these incidents involve the type of lashing out and crimes of opportunity that black people are also experiencing in their own neighborhoods, which has to do with lack of equity associated with poverty, educational, housing, working opportunities, and lack of access to mental health resources. Now, the next question tends to be, if we're talking about problems associated with poverty because we're talking about working class neighborhoods, and we're not talking about issues associated with race because we're talking about Asian and black, then shouldn't crime be going in both directions? If crime seems to only be going in one direction, wouldn't that imply that there is a cultural difference involved? And there is, but it has to do with immigration, not Asianness. Working class Asian American neighborhoods tend to contain a high immigrant population, and understandably, immigrants want to put their best foot forward in a new country and don't want to do anything to jeopardize their immigration status. Now, seeing as how predicated means to be founded or based on something, the present is literally predicated on the past. But I didn't say that previous wrongdoing by white people absolves black people of anything. What I said is the historical consistency of white people causing harm to Asian Americans, coupled with the lack of harm caused by black Americans, is a strong indicator that the people who continue to commit a majority of anti-Asian hate crimes is white people, which the FBI statistics back me up on. Now, something that I've noticed when speaking on this topic is that people who uphold white supremacy tend to respond with denial, defensiveness, deflection, and they move the goalpost, like you did. Whereas there is no shortage of black people who are more than willing to say that disproportionate amount is a problem, what can we do about it? And because our liberation is tied together, the things that we need to do to reduce the amount of crime in working class Asian American neighborhoods are the same things that we need to do to reduce the amount of crime in working class Black American neighborhoods, and that is advocate for restorative justice processes and more equity. The only facet that gets added when we're talking cross-culturally is to foster cultural education, literacy, and understanding. Now, a lot of that has to be done in person on a local community grassroots level, but it is always worth my while to start these conversations here. Oh, and P.S., don't try to flex on me where it comes to math. I invite you to take as long as you need to ask yourself, what was your purpose in leaving this comment? What is it that you were trying to communicate, and what did you hope it would accomplish? And I don't need to know your answers, but if you do feel the need to share your answers publicly, I also recommend that you not do so until you've taken some time to process through your discomfort. And this comment shows that you are very uncomfortable, because this is a very violent comment to so casually leave. You are wishing upon me to be the victim of an anti-Asian hate crime, and you are using Black people as the proxy to inflict the harm upon me that you want to see done. And that is not something that centered and whole people do. So my hope for you is that in taking some time to ask yourself these questions, you might be able to begin the process of grief that will eventually lead to your healing. And I know you don't believe this at all, but I want to see you heal. However, comments like these show why I and Black people cannot be the ones to help you heal. We cannot support you by glossing over your discomfort and pacifying you, because you are dangerous to us. The people that you need to do this healing with are people who are like you. Now, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, and maybe the problem is you don't know any Black people and you don't know any Asian Americans, and you honestly believe that any Asian American in proximity with Black people will inevitably wind up the victim of an anti-Asian hate crime. But you do seem to respect statistics, so let's take a look at the statistics. Now, the FBI crime database is not perfect where it comes to accuracy, because there are issues with underreporting of crimes in immigrant communities, as well as bias in police reporting. However, the most recent FBI data from 2022 shows that in 2021, there were a total of 484 anti-Asian hate crimes. And as of census data processed in 2021, there were an estimated 22 million Asian Americans in the United States. So 484 anti-Asian hate crimes, an estimated 22 million Asian Americans, as you can see, is an exceedingly small fraction. It's just slightly over 0.002%. So the chances of me being the victim of an anti-Asian hate crime at anybody's hands is exceedingly low. However, I also understand that it only takes a very low amount of risk in order to create a great deal of anxiety. And as I mentioned in my previous video, where a lot of this is happening is in larger cities with a high population density. So if I still lived in New York City, I might be more anxious about being the victim of an anti-Asian hate crime. I unfortunately am an outlier who was the victim of an anti-Asian hate crime in 2020, even though I don't live in a large city, and that was not done by a Black person. And going back to those FBI statistics, as you can see, more anti-Asian hate crimes are committed by white people than by Black people. As far as accepting the rate per capita goes, the entire video where you left this comment was about addressing the rate per capita in ways that increases safety for Asian American and Black American communities. That is advocating for restorative justice processes and more equity. But you were not able to hear what that video was about because you were blinded by your discomfort, and that should be a good indication to you as to why you need to engage in healing.
And to the Asian bitch up in my motherfucking inbox calling me monkeys, telling me to go back to the jungle, say I'm a slave, and telling me to fix my skin color and grow my hair, I'm about to bake your ass. I purposely did not block you so you can see this video. When I say I'm gonna eat your ass up, I'm eat your ass up. And then you can go get your mama, your cousin, your auntie, all of them. You can get them motherfucking kids too. I'm finna eat all y'all ass up. Hold on. First of all, honey, we gonna start at the skin color. Graced and glistening. Cocoa butter, shea butter, baby. I smell like chocolate when I walk past. The scent and the aroma is just intoxicating. You could never. The melanin, the compounds in my body to make up my skin color cost more than your entire existence, bitch. I'm a walking check. You could never. Fix my skin color? Bitch, aren't you supposed to be olive complexion? Why you be looking brown, black, and yellow, bitch, like you got jaundice, hoe? When was the last time you exfoliated, you nasty bitch? The bottom of your feet black as hell. Walking around in a motherfucking plastic ass, recycled tire ass flip-flops you got on. Walking around with them gnarled ass toes on the motherfucking gravel, long as hell, scraping the damn concrete, bitch, on your motherfucking floors. In your house, too. Bitch, you would never. Why you on TikTok trying to argue with me? You need to watch your kids before they fall and bust their head on them concrete ass floors in your house. Bitch, your whole house got basement floors. It looked like an unfinished basement, bitch. You would never pass CPS coming to knock on your door out here in America. You could fucking never. Then go back to the jungle. What is you talking about, shorty? I live 5 minutes from downtown. I could go to Target whenever I want to. When you walk out your front door, that really ain't no front door. It's just a motherfucking opening to your dusty, crusty ass, unfinished basement ass house, bitch. You step right outside that door with the motherfucking recycled tire ass flip-flops you got on, with your toes ain't done, bitch. Your shit don't look like this. Don't look like this. Anyway, when you walk outside and you need something in the village, bitch, you sit up there, you gotta go up. It's a whole bunch of carts. It's some motherfucking meat that been sitting out there for several motherfucking days. You're gonna get salmonella, motherfucking tapeworm, all type of shit, unsanitary. I know they is not passing no OSHA regulations out there. Flies everywhere, bitch. Everything you order come with a side of flies, and you got the audacity, the motherfucking nerve. You dirty ass bitch. Then the motherfucker want to say grow some hair. Bitch, I do grow some hair. From my scalp, beautiful, curly, defying gravity. My hair is gorgeous, honey. I'm sorry that y'all have to sit up there and, you know, be stuck on European standards. But bitch, I just like to switch up. You could never, my face alone killing you with no matter what your hair looking like. And you, out of all people, bitch, that said something about my hair, you got a lot of nerve. Girl, your hair is nasty as hell. It's oily, it's matted, it's stringy as fuck at the bottom, bitch. I just know if I run a fine comb across your motherfucking scalp, bitch, it's gonna be flakes and nasty shit falling out like you got motherfucking dermatitis, bitch. I think you should never ever open your motherfucking mouth. You need some inches from your own motherfucking people, bitch, because the way it's looking, it's not cool, bitch. It's not cool. And then you gonna wear it down, put that shit in a ponytail, in a motherfucking bun. Yuck, what money bag yo say? Don't ever come for me. Matter of fact, you poor ass bitch, you wanna make a little extra money, we can do a fair exchange. I will send you some fresh ass motherfucking meat, some toiletries and shit and all that, so you can wash your motherfucking ass, bitch. In exchange for a motherfucking 30-inch bust down, bitch. I need a 30-inch middle part bust down because I'm finna go on vacation. A matter of fact, I should take a trip down there to whoop your motherfucking ass. But, who the fuck wants to go there? To be honest, I'd rather take a trip to the jungle and pet some animals than go over there where you're at, bitch. Hop off the plane, step on the minefield, and blow the fuck up. I'm cool. Then she gonna have the audacity to say, don't be mad because your men are coming down here. Girl, first of all, I don't want no man in the military, especially a black one. Thank you for serving the country, sir. But I know a man that was not considered 3/5 of a human being sitting up there serving the fucking country and praising the flag is not saying something to me. Got PTSD and he delusional as hell. Uncle Ruckus over here. I don't like black women. I want me an Asian woman or a white woman. Like, look, you can keep them crazy ass men because, you know, honestly, over here, they not own nothing. They ain't about nothing, baby. Over there, they little $20 about $5K. So I understand why you hyped up, you broke bitch. But it's not exciting to me. Don't nobody want the motherfucking man, girl. Honestly, you don't know who the hell coming down. Now his ass could be a motherfucking killer, ex-convict murderer. Girl, he probably got a whole motherfucking family down here in the United States of America. He trying to run away from and get out of child support. Girl, bye, you can have him. Baby, stick with the Asian men. If you don't take nothing from me and none of my advice, I don't know if you are into history or whatever, but them men that's coming down there, they motherfucking ancestors didn't even protect us. We was getting our ass by master in a barn somewhere, come out looking at our husband. He sitting there with his head down. An Asian man would never. In fact, have you heard of kamikaze? They would rather sacrifice themselves than bring dishonor and shame to their people. We was over there sticking with these men back in the day when they weren't even considered 3/5 of a human at the time. But you want to talk about a black woman. Talking about why we so angry. Why we had to be. We had to be strong. Because they weren't strong for us. Then they want to come and save y'all. Couldn't even save their own motherfucking women. Talking about some dog. Honey. Look. Let me tell you. Then the bitch got back. And I hope you type bitch woo woo. Look, let me tell you something. Don't tell me no words like that, baby. Because if I say it back to you, it might go around and happen. Okay? The last thing you want is for a tear to fall to my ear, baby. You're going to have the worst year. Period. And I'm going to just leave it like that. Don't ever come for me. ever. Period. This ain't what you want. Whatever type of smoke you want, I got to send it to you.
This is all I got from the stitches, and she actually ate. I really don't know who gave that impression, how all of a sudden they started, like, telling us that Black people commit most crime and all that. I mean, that stereotype is something that it's kind of weird and disgusting. But this is something that they know how to do best. They've been doing it. They've been saying it all the time. And at the same time, what they do is you cannot even have a reasonable conversation with them without them bringing that up, trying to stereotype you or trying to put you in a corner or trying to make you not to probably, I mean, just disgust you. It's really amazing how most Asians do not know that they are being used as pawns against themselves, not even against us. Because how or I have actually seen some of them that do not even think, like, they actually think that they are. That tells you how they are. So from nowhere, I mean, somebody also went to this beautiful woman's video to tell her that her skin is disgusting, and the our men are getting married to them because we have nasty attitude and so many things. And I am asking you, okay, now I think where I have problem with her is that she did not tag. I mean, she should have tagged that person, because how can you make this video is incomplete? Really, sincerely speaking, the video is incomplete. Why? Because we needed her to tell us whom the person is. And a lot of people in the comment section were also saying, show us whom the person is so we know what to do, right? So the video is kind of incomplete because we did not get the full details. She should have shown us whom the person is so we can tell her to have a great day at work and the rest of it. Asians have been doing the most recently, and you all already know they all want to buy into the white supremacists and all that, and they'll also be the one to come out to tell you that they want you all to come and help them speak up on some certain things and all that. I think one of the problems Black people did from the onset was helping them fight for their civil rights and all that. Helping them fight for the civil rights and always being there for them, because if we did not help them and we let them suffer, and not, they will absolutely know how they will shape their mouth to talk to us, because it looks like every time and all that, just like the experience a Black woman had in a restaurant where she went to eat, and they made also, like, they made it known to her that you are Black and you are probably not supposed to be in our space. Yeah, that is the kind of behavior they started doing, like, the kind of things they started doing. When you go to their store to buy something, they start following you around. Why? Because they just that stereotype, It was also in an Asian man's store that a Black young boy went to buy something, just $1 orange juice, or I think water, that the child picked. And the child had the money at hand to pay, and then ended up dropping the something back and went out of the store, and the child was Pe0ple, Asian store. And who have the most convenience stores in Black community? Asians. This is to tell you how some people can really be benefiting from you, and at the same time do not want you, or do not want to do anything with you, or do not like you. They just like that money that comes from you. But I think it's just, if you do not like me, you don't have to take anything from me. You do not have to also be in Black community to sell your stuff. Go to your own community. Let your own people buy it. They know they are not buying. Their own people are not buying. Their biggest customers are Black people. Asian stores, Asian restaurants, and all that. But you know what I keep saying? Make sure that you are in a space where you are wanted, because if you are in a space that you are not wanted, you are the problem. Because there is what I tell people, that energy does not lie, except you cannot read that. But even when you cannot read that, I mean, you can see people's body signs, body language, and all that. When people do not want you, you don't have to prove anything to them that to be in their space. They just don't want you. You just have to walk away. It might hurt, but then you have to do it. So now, color, each time okay, I remember somebody saying that if there is no white supremacist, there will definitely be colorism. And now there is white supremacist, there is also colorism. We have both. Asians have been doing the most to people that look like me recently. But like I keep saying, it's time we start, returning the energy. We've been quiet for so long, and the more you keep quiet, they make you think, they think you are a fool, that you can't do anything, and the rest of it. I am not telling anybody to fight or argue or something. But energy is something that when you give it back to people, they absolutely know how to mind themselves. Because you are not going to call me Mon and King, and I am going to keep quiet. Like one of our brothers said, there is also pink mon and King. If you call me a black mon, I will call you a pink one. Yeah. Tell me to go back to where I come from, and I will tell you, are you people going to leave us alone? Because you guys are holding us to ransom. Pay what you owe us. You don't want us to go. You also do not want to pay them their reparations. You have to pick one. But all I am saying is that Asians can really do better. There has been so many negative talk, so many negative things coming up from their own community towards people that look like me. See, and I am not saying that there are no good, there are so many beautiful, great ones. But the bad ones got to go. And I keep saying, make sure you shop where you are wanted. Make sure you are in a space where you are wanted. Spend your money in black dollar, in black stores. Let's increase our revenue. Let's increase ourselves. Let's build us. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.